Today, I'm going to walk you through my process for creating this tropical landscape, from building up the sand and rocks to the finishing touches that bring everything to life. I'll show you each stage step by step so you can follow along or just enjoy watching the painting come together. I like to start out with the sand first, so here we're using a light base color and using soft horizontal brush strokes to set the foundation. I try to keep it loose at this stage, so I'm focusing on warmth and texture rather than detail. Next, I'm moving on to the rocks. So first, I block them in with mid-tones, mapping out their shape and placement. The goal here is to just get a sense of structure, so don't worry about perfection. After I got my dark shadows in, I tend to go with a white mixed with a little bit of brown to fill in the lighter spaces for my rock structure. Next, I'm moving on to the sky, so starting from the top, using a deeper blue, and I'm gradually blending in with lighter tones towards the horizon to create a soft natural gradient. Using a large flat brush really helps with the smooth transitions. Then I work on the water, pulling some of those sky colors down into the ocean. So I layer in gentle horizontal strokes again to suggest the movements of the waves and reflections. Also mixing in a little bit of green with my blue to create that tropical beach look. And then I'm using some white to create the wave effect. So next, we're moving back to the rocks, and here I'm just layering in the details. So I'm creating subtle texture lines, cracks, and warm undertones to make the rocks feel more realistic in sunlight. First, I'm using just plain brown and really highlighting some shadows in the rock structures. Try to keep your brush strokes light and don't worry too much about perfection, because rock structures usually don't look perfect. So this gives you a freedom to just explore and feel the textures of whatever feels right to you. Now it's time for the highlights, so I mix a lighter version of my base color and carefully apply it to the tops and edges of the rocks where the sunlight naturally hits. This contrast between dark and light is what really brings them to life. Next, I'm adding some shadows to my already existing bush line in the background and foreground, so I'm just using a dark green and lightly dabbing it along the bottom of my tree line. Now for my favorite part, which is the palm trees. I start with the trunks, so I'm painting them in a smooth upward strokes with a mix of brown and warm greens. Then I'm using a fine liner brush to paint the palm leaves, so flicking out from the center to get that loose tropical look. Once the basic shapes are down, I go in with darker tones for the shadows, so especially on the sides opposite from the light source. Then I add small highlights to the sunlit edges of the leaves and trunks to make them pop more. To finish, I take a black pen and I like to outline some main details of my painting. So just enough to define key edges and shapes without overpowering the natural colors. It gives the whole piece a clean, cohesive look. And that's it, a tropical sense full of light, texture, and depth. Thank you for following along with me, and see you next time.